Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us here on Northern Life. I'm not sure about you guys, but I feel like we're more than halfway through the month of June now.
Yeah.
July is going to be around the corner. August is going to be here short enough. And it just seems like, I know, I'm sorry for saying all these things.
Did you just want to ruin the top of the show? The very first 5
I don't want to ruin
seconds?
anybody's dreams out there, but at the same time, my fiance Mary and I are like, we have all these, it's usually during the winter months when you want to plan all these things out, and then we get to the summer, we're like, oh my gosh, we have so much stuff to do. It's hard to thoroughly enjoy the summer when your weekends are chock full of a lot of things. So hopefully the folks out there, can learn from me and us and say, make sure you got a couple weekends in between where you can take things a little slowly, because, now we're like, we have the work week, and then all of a sudden it gets to the weekend, it's like you got to do all these things, all this travel, and then you end up like me, giving you the bad news on a Wednesday.
Seriously, well, that's like all three of us. I mean, I've got gigs every single weekend, and it ends up flying by. You got to take time for yourself and do a little R&R.
Put that on the schedule.
Yes, make sure that's important too.
I know, and Friday, I think, is the first official day of summer, right? It's the summer
solstice.
solstice.
Right. And it already feels like it's halfway over, but it's not officially summer yet.
It even started, you guys.
Whoa there, Ryan.
As my Uncle Bob loves to share, the days will get shorter.
Oh, no.
Or the sunlight will get shorter.
Oh, no.
Longest day of the year, though, coming up.
That's true. Yep, enjoy it.
Well, speaking of good news here, we are halfway through the week and another day closer to Grandma's Marathon. So today we're sitting down with Zach Schneider, Grandma's Marathon's Marketing and Public Relations Director, talking about what's new this year and what it takes to put all of these festivities together. A whole ton of work by a whole ton of people, a lot of volunteers involved in that effort too. So really fun conversation with Zach coming up. Also, marathons are certainly tiring, but besides races, what's truly draining Americans on a daily basis? I bet there's a lot of things out there. A survey by ZipFizz found the things that zap our energy the most. Apparently, many of them are office-related. No surprise, I suppose. It includes dull interactions, dealing with office gossip, being subjected to overly personal conversations with your coworkers, and colleagues showing you something on your phone. That's a funny one. Because sometimes, when you're just busy or in the thick of it, and your coworker just walks over and is like, hey, check out this video on my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be with anybody. It doesn't have to be even a coworker, but sometimes you're just like, yeah, that's really cool. You got to watch a 6-minute video.
Yes, yes.
It's like, what?
And some people that maybe don't pick up on social cues, like you're getting tired of listening to them talk about this on and on and on and on and on. And you're like, yeah, oh no, that's cool. No, that's awesome. 100% like we do all the time, our joke that we do.
And I used to be awfully terrible to Hunter. I think, I probably still am sometimes, but Hunter would, as a joke, Hunter would sometimes tell me something and I go, you know what, Hunter? You know what's crazy? And he goes, what? And I said, I don't remember asking.
All the time on the morning show.
A lot of that's going to happen around 4 or 5 a.m.
Yes,
so,
yes. It's hard to be happy at that early in the morning.
But you guys don't have any dull interactions, I think. We're all,
That's sweet.
Yeah. You guys don't zap my energy.
Well, there we go.
I would say this. Yeah, I would say this even gives me energy. This show.
Oh, sorry for zapping your energy at the top of the show, talking about how summer days are running away from us.
Zing.
Yeah.
All my energy was gone.
With Father's Day back on Sunday, one Wausau, Wisconsin area family was hoping to have a record-breaking weekend by visiting the most quick trips that they possibly could in one day. So back in 2021, a Quick Trip employee visited 52 stores in a day, which stands as the record. And after trying to find something new and exciting to do with his kids, Paul Jock decided this road trip was what the family needed. So according to posts on the Quick Trip enthusiasts Facebook page, as far as I could tell, they unofficially made it to 70 stores in 15 hours. So I think we're waiting to see, what if it becomes official, that is.
Yeah, I want to know how many miles, that adventure took. That's very interesting.
Sometimes a couple of those quick trips are right in a row with one another. So
That's
hopefully,
very nice.
hopefully you did some good planning. And I think it was on Monday. Didn't the governor say it was Quick Trip Day due to the Quick Trip's 60th anniversary?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
60th anniversary. I thought it was a newer company than that. Interesting. But just in Duluth Superior alone, there's got to be 10, 15 Quick Trips or something like that, right?
You would think. There are a lot of Quick Trips out there.
Yeah.
It feels like they're always, popping up in new spots.
I do enjoy a good Quick Trip.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
the best.
I just envision his father saying to those kids too, hey kids, here's the plan today.
Yep.
They're like, oh boy.
Get in the car.
Yeah.
15 hours in the car, like, oh, well, what's going on?
Get going.
Luckily, the bathroom facilities are very nice. Let's get to our Does It Work product here on this Wednesday. Rachel Hackbarth is trying out a product that's being marketed as the easiest way to achieve professional fishing knots. Here's today's Does It Work.
There was a lot of trees and it was
You can find Leo Bonsbach wetting his hook almost every day. He's going to see if this tiny tool, the hookies, can help get rid of a big problem for a lot of fishermen like himself, tying and cutting a knot in your line.
By the time you're my age, you probably know how to tie pretty much most of the knots that you use, but for somebody who's younger, this seems to be a very efficient way.
A twin pack of the Hook Ease tying tool costs $15.95. The instructions claim this will allow us to not only easily tie strong knots, but also protect us from accidentally hooking and hurting ourselves.
It says to begin, place the ring over your ring finger or attach it to your belt loop. It seems pretty simple.
Leo is now going to open this lid. This is where we put the hook.
So let's try a worm hook. That seems to fit in there.
We close the Hook Ease up.
Let's put the line through, and then it says to turn it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Then it says to run this loop back through the bottom loop, moisten it, and cinch it down. It should cinch down.
There's our knot. The makers claim this gadget on the back will cut away any leftover line.
That works pretty good.
So did it tie a knot?
Yeah.
While this isn't a device Leo will need to add to his tackle box, he does believe for someone with less experience, this could be very helpful.
That's the hardest thing to get to know, is how to tie your knots so that you don't lose the fish and the hook at the same time.
So do you think that the Hook Ease works?
Yes, it does work.
For Does It Work? I'm Rachel Hackbarth.
All right.
Looks good to me. I'll take it.
Zach Schneider joins us in studio after the break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, folks. It's Grandma's Marathon Week here in Duluth, and that means the final preparations are being made by the team in charge of putting everything together here.
Yeah, and that includes Grandma's Marketing and Public Relations Director, Zach Schneider. Hey, thank you so much for being here, Zach.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I know it's such a busy week, so taking time out of all that you have to do to get ready to be with us, we very much appreciate it. How are you guys feeling leading up to the races?
Good. I mean, this is the fun part of the year for us, right? You work all year. The planning for this year's marathon started before even last year's marathon ended. This week is a lot about adrenaline. The days get longer, the nights get shorter, but it's fun. This is what we've worked all year for, and so we're excited.
Obviously, a lot going on as we head closer to race day. Can you kind of walk us through all the different events going on?
It starts on Thursday. The expo and packet pickup will open on Thursday, and then Friday is kind of when it starts. The expo and packet pickup will run again all day at the deck. The McLean's all-you-can-eat spaghetti dinner is pretty much all day, 11 to 9 at the deck. This year, the William A. Irvin 5K is being run at 1 o'clock, not 6 o'clock. We moved that start time up this year, so that's a middle of the day race. The kids races, the whippersnapper races for kids, now moved to 4 o'clock. And then we've got some Friday afternoon and early evening entertainment at Bayfront on Friday. And then, of course, Saturday, the half marathon, the marathon, and the all-day entertainment at Bayfront. So it's really runs the gamut of everything that you could ask for. I think that's what part of what makes Grandma's Marathon so special, is that if you've never been to Duluth before, you come in for these 3 or 4 days and you just get to experience the best of who we are and what we have to offer. Hopefully the weather cooperates and people can see the beauty of the North Shore and Lake Superior. But as far as activities go, there's a lot to do besides the races.
Crossing my fingers for a little bit of that tailwind. I could use it this year especially. You mentioned the change to the start of the 5K race time. Also some changes to the starting line at the full and the half. Tell us a little bit about those and why you guys made them.
You know, we want the faster people to be up front. We're a race that is open to all ages, abilities, times, really. We want to encourage those people at the back of the pack to come to our race and have a good time, but we don't want them to be interfering with some of the faster runners. And so other races from around the country and around the world do this. This is the first time that Grandma's Marathon is really diving into this, is that now we're going to have a wave start, essentially. So we've separated the participants in both the half marathon and the marathon by their goal finish times. So the faster runners will be in the front corral. They will start first. There will be a 10-minute gap. We'll start the middle third, another 10-minute gap, and then we'll start the last third. And so really it's just an effort to try to ease some of the congestion. We've got so many runners. We're expecting this to be the biggest Grandma's Marathon weekend we've ever had, beating last year, which was the biggest Grandma's Marathon weekend we've ever had. So we
Good
continue to slowly grow. We're talking about only like hundreds at a time, but with so many runners in a confined amount of space, we just want to make sure that everybody has enough room to have it be safe, number one, but also enjoyable.
Yeah.
You don't want to be, feeling like sardines in a can at the start line. And so hopefully this will alleviate some of that congestion. both at the start and along the race course.
And who are some of the elite athletes we can expect out on the course this year?
Yeah, well, two names that most Grandma's Marathon fans will know are Dakota Popane and Annie Frisbee. Dakota Popane, formerly Dakota Lindworm. Both of them are back to run the half marathon.
So cool.
On the men's side in the marathon, Dominic Undoro, Alicia Barno. Undoro is our event record holder, 2-time champion. Barno, 6-time champion. He's the winningest runner we've ever had here in Duluth. The wheelchair race is stacked on the men's side. Aaron Pike is back. Josh Cassidy will challenge him. So the top end of Grandma's Marathon continues to be very strong. We're looking for some really competitive races, but it might be some familiar names, which is not a bad thing.
And you mentioned a little bit about just the amount of people that are going to be running this race. Do you have like a solid number of how many people you think are going to be participating this year? And you said you're probably going to be breaking records from last year, right?
Yeah, we saw just over 17,500 finishers last year, and we expect, based on the math, to be a little bit above that this year. We have close to 23,000 people registered, and so it's always kind of a guessing game at this point. How many of those are actually going to show up? The law of large numbers tells us that a good majority, or a small percentage of them, maybe 15 to 20%, won't even come to the starting line, whether that's their plans changed, they got injured in the training process, things like that. And so we expect to be over that 17,500 mark just based on the registration, but it's always a guessing game until we get to Saturday.
And with people coming, from locally and all over the world to participate in this race, how do you balance giving this marathon still a local feel for folks?
Yeah, I think the community does a really good job of that, right? The volunteers that we have, the people on the course, Grandma's Marathon, the 10th largest marathon in the United States. We're on a list with other big metropolitan areas like Chicago, New York, Boston, Los Angeles. We're 10th on that list, and we're far ways off from the size of those marathons, but we're still on that list. You can go to Chicago the day of the Chicago Marathon, be in the city, and not really know that it's happening. Right? You can't do that in Duluth.
No way.
You know that our race is happening for those 3 or 4 days. It's really all anybody can talk about. And I think that is the feeling of community and of this being a race that's really owned and operated in a large sense by the community. That's what people come back for, right? The 8 of us on the staff, the 17 of us on our board of directors, the 25 of us don't make Grandma's Marathon, right? We need hundreds and thousands more, and that's what I think people really remember, and that's what they go home and tell people, hey, you got to get to Duluth, and that's why we've seen some of the growth that we have over the past couple of years.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Zach. Stay with us, though, because we're going to have more fun with Zach coming up after the break. Welcome back, everybody. Joined here again with Zach Schneider, the Marketing and Public Relations Director for Grandma's Marathon. And for those of you who don't know, Zach actually used to work here at the station back in the day. And as Ryan Half so kindly does to our guests often, we were able to find some old video from Zach's days as our sports director here. Zach, how do you think your job here at the station helped prepare you so well for your current role here with Grandma's?
Well, I'm just looking at first the suit, and then just the graphics from back then. It's a good reminder about how long ago it was.
How far we've all come.
Yes, amen.
I think it's helpful, right? Anytime you can work in the field that now you're assigned with helping, that's my job at the marathon, not only the marketing part of it, but also the PR side of it and helping you share the stories of Grandma's Marathon. I was in those shoes once, so I think anytime you get a chance to kind of do the job that now you're tasked with really assisting, that's helpful. Being from Duluth, having grown up here, having covered the race for so many years at the station, and now getting a chance to do it from the inside looking out, it's really helpful. And I learned a lot, not only from people I worked with here, but other PR and marketing directors. Yeah, it kind of came full circle.
Before your role, obviously you're very busy on Saturday morning now, so you probably don't get a chance to run the races. Leading up to that, though, did you ever participate in any of the Grandma's Marathon events?
Once, yeah. It was between an interim period between my time at the station and my time at Grandma's Marathon. I ran the half marathon with my wife. So I've seen 13.1 miles of our course. I don't know that I'll ever see the full 26.2.
You can take
At
a
least on
special
race
kind of,
day.
yeah, it takes a special kind of person to run the full 26.2.
Yeah.
That's wild. I could never do that. But is there a certain part of this that goes into this? I know obviously a lot of work goes into planning this. That is relatively difficult, or something that folks at home don't know that it takes to plan this sort of event?
It's all just detail work, right? I mean, we talk about it, it's like planning a couple dozen different weddings all on the same day for the same time period, with a lot of it with the same people, and trying to make sure that all those details are accounted for. And so if you're organized, I think it gets a lot easier. So much of it too is out of our control. We talk about controlling our controllables. Can't control the weather, can't control road construction. So being able to react and adapt, I think, is important. But I think it is difficult. Hopefully from the outside looking in, we make it look easy. That's the whole point. We want people to just come and enjoy and not have the stress. We want to shoulder the stress if there is any. But when you like something and you're proud of it and it means something to you, then it gets a lot easier.
Yeah, I'm always so amazed by, the Grandma's Marathon team itself is, relatively small employee-wise, but you have so many volunteers that come and make this race happen. So tell us a little bit about the roles that they play on Marathon Day.
They are invaluable. We've got volunteers from our information team to our hospitality team, our construction team, our lead vehicle drivers. It runs the list of jobs that you could do for Grandma's Marathon. The 8 of us work on it all year, but ultimately we're choir directors, right? And we need the people that are boots on the ground that actually do the work, and those people need to be prepared, need to be informed, need to have the right information, the right supplies, the right everything to do their jobs well. But then they also need to have the attitude that I'm going to go in and do it. If something happens on mile 7 of the race course on Saturday, I'm not going to be in a position to do anything about it. Our mile 7 water captain will be. And so they are invaluable to us because they can problem solve on the day of the race. The community should take a lot of pride in what we're able to pull off as well, because they are a huge part of it. It's a race that is owned and operated by Duluth and the surrounding community.
Absolutely. I know the community is really looking forward to it. So Zach, thank you so much for being here. Have a great race weekend and best of luck to you all. You can find the latest on the race info and our Northern News Now stories at northernnewsnow.com. Welcome back, everybody. Coming up tomorrow on Northern Life, we'll have another fantastic Grandma's Marathon related conversation here in studio for you. We're going to be joined by Northern News Now's Alexis Bass, talking about how she's getting ready to cover all those big Duluth races and what she's most looking forward to as well. She also has a special feature story coming up on Friday night right here on Northern News Now at 6 o'clock, and it's a very inspiring one that you're not going to want to miss. So Alexis has her hands in all things Grandma's Marathon, so it'll be excited to learn about the races from her point of view.
Yeah, I feel like there's a few different Super Bowls of coverage when it comes to sports. I think this is one of them when it comes to all the coverage that happens throughout the race. So very cool.
Especially for our area.
Yep.
Hey, before we go from running to the diamond, the best baseball player in the entire state of Minnesota is right here in Duluth.
Cool.
Marshall Hilltopper Owen Marslick has been crowned Mr. Baseball 2025. During the course of his entire Hilltopper career, he helped lead the team to 2 trips to the state tourney and 3 appearances in the section finals. You can catch Marslick on a mound near you. That's because he will be joining the Duluth Huskies this summer.
Oh, very good. Congratulations, Mr. Baseball.
Yeah, I'd be flexing that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's quite the
Talking
official
about the good
title.
old days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, hey, thanks so much for joining us on this Wednesday. We love you.
Yeah, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.